We are the Braxtons, and you'll see we are not like an ordinary family. Just to one Trina, s05e11 will teach you a thing or two. The Braxton Family Values.
Hey everybody, I'm back to talk about the latest episode of the Braxton Family Values. First, let's talk about Trina and Gabe. So, in this episode, we see that Trina and Gabe were having a lunch together, and they're still trying to keep the lines of communication open with one another. And later on in the episode, Trina meets up with her sisters to tell them about how the therapy session went with Gabe. And while they're sitting there talking, Gabe pops up. I wasn't sure about if this was going to be a good thing or not, because when the scene started and he walked up, Tamar was giving him that evil eye. The sisters was looking like, what are you doing here? So I was nervous and I was like, oh, this ain't going to be good at all. But surprisingly, it actually went well. The sisters basically asked him, how he felt after the divorce, and what is he going to do about the kids, and, rekindling their relationship with the kids, not Trina. And so it went well. He wasn't too obnoxious. He answered the questions. The sisters didn't, spaz out, but it was touch and go for a minute. I was nervous. Then later in the episode, Tawanda, Trina, and Tracy went bowling. And Tracy took the opportunity to tell the girls that she was there in LA to start recording her second album. You go, Tracy, girl. And so while they were bowling, Tawanda, she made it this competition, and she was trying to help she was trying to help Trina bowl because Trina was throwing straight gutter balls, okay? And Trina was just like, I don't need your help. I can do it all by myself, blah, blah, blah. And it just kind of tapped into that thing that she had been talking about. Like, her sisters feel like she can't do certain things. And so she was just in her feelings. But they bowled, they had fun. It was a good thing. Then later, Tawanda had went and picked up Tony, and they were going, I think they had been shopping earlier that day, and she was about to drop Tony off at home so she could take a nap or whatever the case may be. And so Tawanda told Tony about Gabe showing up when the sisters were having cocktails. And once again, Tony goes, well, are they getting back together or what? She has it in her mind that they're probably already dating, but they're not telling the sisters, and they're gonna get back together. First, I don't know, maybe it's because Tony knows how Trina is, and if Gabe is showing any sign of being a better man or something like that, then Trina will fall for it and get back in the relationship with him. Maybe that's what she's feeling, I don't know. But later on in the episode, we find out that maybe that's not necessarily true. Before I get into all of that, let me talk about Tracy and this new style of music that she's attempting to do on her second album. So, the first album was more like love songs and, things like that. And for the second album, she wants to be a little bit more edgier, a little bit more sexier. And so she had this song, and it's a little bit risque. And so she sits down with, her team, and her manager out top does not like it. He doesn't like the direction it's going. He don't like how it sounds. He don't like nothing. So they talked him into just leaving the studio that day and letting them actually lay down the track and then come back later and listen to it. So later when he came back and listened to it, after they had, recorded it, he actually liked it. And he said that he needed to trust Tracy more because Tracy was really pushing for it. She was like, listen, this is something that is very me. It wouldn't be stepping outside of my box too much, and it'll fit what I'm trying to do. And that's what it was. So I'm happy for Tracy for putting her foot down and really saying, this is what I want to do musically. This is the direction I want to take the album, and I'm going to stick to it. So you go, Tracy. Also in this episode, Tamar is What is she? I think she's being featured in Essence magazine. Anyway, it's her in her home. So she got all glammed up, and you know, that's what she did in this episode. They came to her house, they took photos. That's basically what happened with her in this episode. So at the very end, Gabe calls Trina and he wants to meet up with her because he was still in LA. She thought he had already went back home, but he didn't. And so he says that he wants to talk to her. And she wants to know what he wants to talk about. So they get together. He comes and picks her up and takes her on this 45-minute drive out. And the whole time she's asking him, "Where are we going?" And she's getting annoyed because he's not telling her. And he's trying to make it this big secret where they're going and all this. And she's like, "Look, where are we going? Number one, what do you need to talk to me about that we have to go all the way out wherever we're going to talk about it? Like, what is going on here?" So she was just really irritated. So they finally get to the destination and they're at a beach. And he has a beach towel and he throws it down and he tells her, sit down. And he got like a little picnic basket. And he even mentions that, what happened the last time I was down on one knee, like proposing to her, I guess. She's annoyed, she's over it, she's done, she's through with it. See, this is why I say Tony may be incorrect about this, because Trina seems pretty fed up. Like, she's pretty much over this whole Gabe thing. And just the look on her face and her irritation with him about where they're going, what he want to talk about, she was just very annoyed with him. And I think that Gabe still loves her, but I think that is over. I think he's hurt her a little bit too much for her to go back to him. Like she said, we're divorced for a reason. So that's just my thoughts about this episode. Oh my goodness. Tell me what you thought about the episode. Drop it in the comments below. Make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. And I will talk to you all in the next video. Bye.
And you'll see we are not like an ordinary family. Just into one that Trina, and the sea will teach you a thing or two. Braxton family.